So there is redness on the market as it was expected. On the 28th of December, we talked about the fact that there has to be a retrace all the way to the 3.22 trillion, which happened. Basically, we had the retrace all the way to 3.21, so almost hitting the target I've been talking about on the 28th of December. Yesterday, there was something called the AMD playing out. All madness, you know, MicroStrategy is not going to be excluded from the MSCI. Lots of things to talk about. I do think we are going lower. I do think this is the time to consider closing some of your spot positions, consider closing your long positions, and consider taking short positions. Been warning you about this. This is the time. Watch this 10-minute update. If you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. I do these updates. I've been here since 2016, and I drop these daily updates, short, concise, and you can watch it to help you make money. I did take these trades yesterday. This was one of the trades I took. I shared it all in the community. It's all free. You can join in, and you can see them. I also took all these trades. All of these I shared them in the community, so you could have taken them as well. Let's jump in, guys, because it's a big thing, big shit to talk about. One of them is S&P 500 is just making highs and highs and highs. It made 39 times all-time highs in 2025, 57 all-time highs in 2024, and it had its first all-time high yet again here in 2026. We see that the market is completely overextended. I do believe we still need to see the 10-15 minute market percent correction on the stock market. Venezuelan stock market is super interesting because after Maduro's capture, there was a big question about, is this going to wreck the economy? What's going to happen? The stock market loves it. Venezuelan stock market is up 163%. And I'm warning you yet again, every single pump in the next 39 days is there to trap you. This was tweeted on October 21st. Okay? And then I reinforced this and I said, friendly reminder, guys, that the pump that we see all the way up here is there to liquidate you. And I know it's been very funny and a lot of people made, you know, fun of me and whatever, including Ran, you know, saying not so fast, you know, am I liquidated, whatnot. I mean, we can look at the positions and I respect Ran a lot, but I know a lot of people will go and fall for this trap over and over and over again. This is one of the reasons that the market had a final, I think the final push yesterday, but this is going to be super relevant. So before I talk about the market, let's talk about this because I know it's very important for how the market is going to open today in New York. So that was this whole news about MSCI concludes review in today, that's digital asset treasuries index inclusion, decides not to exclude debts like MicroStrategy from indexes. What this means is, and I posted yesterday in the community as well, I posted yesterday this in the community. This is the reason for the pump after the market structure shift happened. So you have seen accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. I'm going to talk about this in a second. But after we had the confirmation, after I've taken the short positions, there was this news coming out that the whole MSCI thing is concluded and MicroStrategy is not going to be excluded. Now, if you want to know more about this, Ran had an incredible video. You can just go down here on Crypto Insider and he has this, the real reason why Bitcoin crashing. It's a long video. It's like not that long, but it's a 60-minute video that explains everything that happened at a time. If you want me to do a 5-minute summary of this and drop it today, please comment below and I'm gonna do it. Otherwise, if everybody knows already, I'm not gonna spend time on it. I don't wanna waste your time and my time. So if you want that, comment below and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, so you will not miss any of this. But the whole idea here is that there was an MSCI. These guys create big indexes that are being passively bought by a lot of institutions, right? And if they exclude a company from their indexes, that results in a direct sell pressure and in a direct lack of buying pressure. So MicroStrategy, so the proposition was that they will exclude anyone who has over 50% of their assets in digital assets, meaning cryptocurrencies. And so that obviously puts MicroStrategy at a massive risk because all the companies that are holding MicroStrategy indirectly with these MSCI indexes, they will have to sell those shares. Now, that said, now that a news came out yesterday that said they reconsidered the whole thing and it's not going to exclude MicroStrategy, everything is fine, yet the market is dumping. One of the big reasons is that one of the hidden lines in this whole MSCI thing is that they will not implement increases to the number of shares, meaning every single time MicroStrategy raises cash, as they do and issue more shares, that is not going to be included in the indexes, which I have no idea how it will work. Again, if you want this, we can do a deep dive and drop a video today. Let me know. But this is one of the main reasons why the market is not really bullish about this news, and MicroStrategy might even be excluded anytime, and they will reconsider it in 3 months. So this news alone did not move the market, even though it seems like very bullish. It is not that much. Let's look at the market. If I look at this, I posted this in the community. If you're not in the community, guys, join in. 13,000 people, completely free for now. We're launching a paid product in January, but join in. It's completely free, and I give you everything that I do there. So I literally just posted this here. AMD is happening. I explained this as well. I said I took this Bitcoin short. This is the result of that Bitcoin short, up by $7,500 since yesterday. I also said I'm shorting. I also said I was shorting Cardano and Solana. Here it is, both of the positions. Oh, you don't see it. Both of the positions. So please join in the community. Okay, that said, why did this happen? One of the things is I've been calling for a long time for this level to touch. It didn't come back 50%, but you can consider the fact that the total market cap actually includes all the stable coins as well, which is about 200 billion. So that 200 billion that is missing here, I'm literally missed it by 100 billion, right? It missed my target by 0.4%, which is about 100 billion, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. If you consider the fact that I've been calling for this since the 28th of December, the target came in perfectly and showed a market structure shift, an accumulation, manipulation, distribution. If you don't know what that is, I have a full video on this strategy. Watch that. So, talking about this, accumulation happens before a massive manipulation. Everybody thinks we're breaking out. Breakout traders get in, a lot of liquidity coming in, and then they smash it as hard as they can, creating a market structure shift, meaning a lower low. You see, there is a close above here, and there is an immediate close below that level that created the new high, and that's an indication for a very severe sell-off. This is exactly the pattern how I could identify the top of the bull market on October 17th. This is something to take very seriously, okay? So now that we have this, we saw a retrace. This was the retrace on the MSCI, and even this news could not push to new highs. Now, you can call me a conspiracy theorist all you want, but it is just weird that this whole MSCI reconciliation should have come out on January 15th, and it came out yesterday. Surprisingly, straight after, there was a clear market maker manipulation on the market. How on earth does that happen? Is that a coincidence? I don't think so, okay? So anyway, you have to see this happening. The AMD is playing out, and I have no good news because it is still, yes, only on the 15-minute chart, but this will, if we close below the hourly, which already has a wick, but if we close below the hourly chart, down here at 3.1 trillion, guys, it's GG. I'm telling you, we're going sub 80,000. This is what I'm expecting. All this built up liquidity is going to get taken, and it will get taken like this. It's not going to be a slow grind. It's going to be something like this. You think it's not possible? Well, be alert, it is possible. Okay, so now that we have all, and I'm not fudding, I'm just sharing you what I'm doing. You know, obviously nothing is financial advice, you do you, but I'm just telling you that I close all my long positions, I'm shorting. Okay, what am I doing? One, I feel comfortable sitting on my Solana and ethbag, right? It can go down, but I'm holding that for a longer term. I sold 50% of them on October 17th. I started buying back a little bit with our bots. Bots are doing incredible as well. These are the bull market bots. Do not launch these now, but I'm not closing them. If you have launched them already, leave them. I'm gonna leave them as well. But I'm not selling anything on spot. I closed all my long positions, as I let you know, in the community, and I have taken short positions. I do believe it makes a lot of sense to take short positions. The stop loss should be up above the total high, the AMD high, and then possibly ride these all the way down. Here is the problem or the challenge. As a trader, you always have to look at two scenarios, right? The only thing that I'm concerned about is that it didn't touch onto the daily equilibrium here at 3.22. Otherwise, literally everything checks out. There was the high here. There is a liquidity sweep. Look at this. There is a liquidity sweep. Liquidity is swept from the highs here. It came back into a rejection zone on the higher time frame. It almost touched onto the daily equilibrium, which if I consider and take out stable coins, this basically is a 50% retrace on the daily chart, which I've been expecting for a long time. We do have one rejection, and it definitely does look like something like this can play out. Do not underestimate this. Do not. Why? Because this was the same freaking pattern that we've been talking about. This is the exact same time when we shorted. Why? Because you do have a dump, you do have a retrace, 50%. You do have a dump, you do have a retrace, 50%. You do have a dump, you do have a retrace. So until we have a daily close above there, do not be bullish. Now, if you don't want to short, fine. If you think I'm an idiot, fine. But please be cautious of your capital. One thing that I can also say, very, very important, is that the only thing that can really turn this around is if the US markets react extremely freaking bullish of this MSCI news. But because of what I just explained, and because this is not as bullish as they would expect it, it is basically putting out the fire now, but it didn't solve the problem. The increases of shares are not going to be included in the indexes, which means that the indexes will basically be screwed up. MicroStrategy, even though will issue more shares and grow the company, will not reflect on these indexes that passively buy Bitcoin through MicroStrategy or passively buy MicroStrategy. So it's not even close to as bullish as people predict, and I do think that we can see a pop, but because the market is already or the structure already broke and we already have the initiation of this move, I don't think that the retrace is going to go higher than this. Even if this happens, this is what I'm looking for. Now, anything can happen, so I am going to obviously update you in the community, as I always do. So go and join in there. It's going to be in the top link. The second link in the description is going to be something interesting. It's called Bitfunded. They are a prop firm. They are not our sponsors, but we are partnered with them. I am running this account for myself, and I'm going to do a full video. You're going to know more about it. I'm gonna buy a Rolex by simply trading on this account and it's gonna be an amazing video. But all I'm saying is that I have set together a whole workshop for Bitfunded. So the way to join that is super simple. You just have to go and join in. You get yourself a challenge. It's going to be the second link in the description. Buy yourself a challenge, and next week we are going to launch this. It's going to be one Zoom session, a long Zoom session, and it'll help you pass this challenge. I'll show you how I'm passing it, and I will help you pass it too. So if you want that, get yourself a challenge. You will get an email from Bitfunded next week that you can join in on our Zoom session. Will be hosted next week. Guys, truly appreciate you. I think it's crucial times. Please be alert. Pin the Telegram. Turn the bell notifications on here. Subscribe to the channel. Watch the shows. Again, I can take you to the river, but I can't make you drink, okay? It's super important. I want to help you. All I want to do here is just share with you what I'm doing. I know a lot of people get destroyed. A lot of people get wrecked. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm, whatever. But please consider what I'm saying, okay? Check out this video. It's going to be the AMD video, what just played out yesterday as well. It's super cool. And check out the links in the description. Get yourself a Bitfunded if you want to join the Zoom next week. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.